right, welcome to episode 60 of the Whiskey and Whitetails podcast. Today is February 14th. I am your host, Gus.
I'm Matt.
And today we are joined by...
Working Man Bowhunter. We got Butch and Lance with us today. And we're
Cheers, fellas. Cheers.
Very excited. We've been trying to go through this group chat that we're in and find hunters to come and talk about mistakes they made and other things. And we got a bunch of just topics that we want to chat with them on. But before we get started, you said this vertical, the 5-year is your favorite, huh?
Yeah, it's one of our favorites. We're a big fan of Pinhook overall. Really enjoy the ride, but I would say their straight up bourbon's a good bottle. I think we got one from Liquor Barn in Kentucky. We got their store select vertical 5 or 6 year. So yeah, they're good. It's good juice.
Well, this episode's code word of the week is vertical. So put vertical in those comments down there, and then you will be entered to win when we do the next drawing. So put vertical in the comments. And we're drinking Pinhooks. This episode is powered by Pinhook Vertical. Let's give this a pop. Hey, it's not bad.
Ooh.
Not bad. So we actually got this in a Pappy lottery, and this is what we received.
So that was a consolation prize, huh?
Yeah.
Participation trophy?
Yeah, they sent, was it 4 bottles?
Yeah,
It
4 or
was
5.
supposed to be a grand total value of at least $250, and with 1 in 200 getting the chance to win a bottle of Pappy. Of course, we didn't get the bottle of Pappy, but we got, I don't know. Even if you follow strict MSRP, it wasn't $250 worth of stuff. And if you use secondary prices, it was still cutting it close.
It was a little bit of a burn, but
What are you going to do?
you live, you learn. I knew I wasn't going to get Pappy. Anyone that's ever done a whiskey giveaway knows that goes to a friend that just happened to win.
Coincidentally.
I know that juice better taste really good to you guys because you paid enough for it.
That's right. All right, so I had a question before we even start. We're started, but before we start questions, I see you post all the time that are you editing stuff on Sportsman Channel, or you also are on the Sportsman Channel?
So both. So I've teamed up with Jeremiah Borthoffer. He founded Mountaintop Outdoors. This is our 2nd season on the Sportsman's Channel.
Nice.
This is my first season with Mountaintop, where he actually hired me on to be the executive producer and full-time editor for all the episodes. So if you watch Mountaintop Outdoors, you'll actually see Lance and I. We have 3 to 4 episodes this season. So 2 of them have already aired on the Sportsman's Channel already.
Oh,
Very cool. I didn't know that you guys were on the show too. The only thing I ever see is B-Man stunting it through the airport.
Airport, just
He's the all-star.
yeah, he
He
really
carries
is.
it.
Yeah, he's 2 does down now, right?
Yeah, he has two does, and then he shot the buck this year, which will be airing on the Sportsman in probably 6 weeks.
Nice.
And what time was that on the Sportsman Channel, so just so we can have it here?
Wednesday, 7:30 Eastern Time, PM.
All right. Write that down.
Yeah.
Put that in the show notes for people.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, I'm the executive producer, and then I edit all the content you're going to see on the show itself. So it's pretty cool. Out of the 13 episodes, 8 of them are Jeremiah, or 8 or 9 are going to be Jeremiah and his hunts, and the rest are going to be my hunts. Lance has filmed 2 of them that have already aired, my Ohio buck and my Texas buck. And then my other buddy, Wes, my partner, he filmed B-Man's Texas buck.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool. It's a good setup, guys.
When did Lance show up? I know Wes was there in the beginning, and then
Lance showed up when Wes couldn't make it one trip. Wes was like, look, bro, you're going to run a camera. How you feel about that?
So, and that's kind of how it went. Lance is like my bourbon brother, hence the Bourbon Brothers Instagram page.
Yeah.
We have, and nice little plug there.
Do it.
And we were drinking one night. Wes couldn't make it, family obligations. And I said, hey, bro, do you want to learn how to run a camera in manual mode? And he's like, yeah, sure. Why? I'm like, why did you go film a hunt? No pressure. You're filming for national TV. So obviously he did a good job. Both hunts were able to be edited, and aired. So
Nice.
pretty cool story. Yeah. Matter of fact, the one episode, we show about a 6-minute segment of how the whole hunt came about, with me educating him how to, film in manual mode, and it was pretty cool.
Nice. Nice. That's really cool. Yeah, I enjoy the approach you take with some of your filming and some of the content you choose to create where a lot of other channels and shows skip past the part of folks learning and getting introduced to things for the first time. You guys kind of embrace that, and I think your 2-part series that you have so far with your son speaks volumes to that. I thought that was a really cool way to capture that and document that moment. Looking back on that, I wish I would have done something similar with my oldest boy when he was getting into it. That'd be something cool to hang on to. And he handled it like a champ. That first doe that he missed, I'm sure there was stuff that you don't see off camera, but it looked like he handled that like a champ.
Yep. First, I think it's pretty cool that you can reference that hunt. Means a lot that you guys watched that. I appreciate that right there.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool. And first off, I think B-Man is the definitely hit of the team. People love him. And he was actually he was 5 years old when he shot in Moon. And I didn't show a lot of the emotional of him being upset in the blind.
Sure,
but he was.
Yeah.
And to him to come back full circle and lock it up and be able to shoot. Pretty cool. So yeah, it's stressful.
Sure.
A lot of anxiety, a lot of emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what, it's the greatest thing on earth to watch your child go to the woods and connect on an animal.
Yeah.
See his raw emotions. I'll give up hunting forever just to be a part of that.
Yeah, I've said that. I think I've said that more times than I can count. I would absolutely give up ever taking another deer if I could sit and watch my kids have successful hunts over and over again.
Spot on. Completely agree, man.
Yeah.
It's special.
It's and I like that video, that short film, and you were talking about keeping it fun for kids, because he and I have talked about that. Matt and I have talked about that. Like, how do you keep a kid engaged? And really at that age, it's whatever you have to do, right? To me, it's just about keeping them outside and keeping them in the blind, and eventually, whether it's a puzzle or a game on the tablet, right? They start to associate being in the blind with fun, and as long as they keep that association, it'll eventually take care of itself. They'll lose interest in the iPad eventually.
Okay, what you just said is really key. I'm trying to little by little separate the iPad or the Nintendo Switch in the blind,
Sure.
And less
Absolutely.
and less of that, and more of watching animals or watching nature.
Yep.
He just turned 8 in January, and this January we took him down to Texas for his birthday gift for his hunt, and we went to Kentucky in September and didn't see a deer. That's tough for 3 days of a 7-year-old at the time and not see a deer.
That's tough for an adult, man.
It's tough for an adult.
I was gonna say, I know what that feels like.
However, I thought it was a good learning experience to realize that's hunting. That's the reality. And, the advantage of Texas is this was still fair chase. And there's a lot of deer in Texas. And we were blessed to see a lot of deer, and which allowed him to put the iPad down and spend more time watching deer. So I do think little by little that will transition away. And to be candid, I think us adults are on our phones a lot in the blind. So we're just as guilty as
absolutely.
teenagers, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
I spent last time we were in Kentucky, I had no cell phone service, but I had a doodle jump, I think. And it's like hour 8, and you're just, so I'm like doodle jumping, and I look up, and there's a doe staring at me, and it's like, you're an idiot. Just ruined it. Just she knows you're here because you're sitting here going, trying to doodle jump. And
Well, isn't it true that the best times hunting is when you have no cell phone service?
yeah,
absolutely.
And you can separate from the world. It's one of the reasons why I love hunting in Northern Canada. You go hunting and you're separated from the world. And as you see, I'm on the phone with work, and it's just how it is. Where when you go hunting in the Midwest, you always have service. You're never disconnected. So
Yeah.
when you can be able to go in the woods and leave everything, I don't think there's anything better.
Yeah, there's something definitely that happens, I think, at maybe a primal level, whenever we're able to completely disconnect, and you have to 100% sort of be in the moment with the hunt. It takes that experience to hold. Because I know, I've had hunts where I can think of one particular. It was towards the end of the season, and I was trying to get another deer for the freezer. It's pouring down. It's cold, and I've got cold weather gear and rain gear on. So I don't have my phone out because it's really pouring rain. And that was one of the most fun hunts. I saw more action in that rain and just being perfectly still because I wasn't tempted to mess with the phone or fidget.
Yeah.
And I came home and my wife was like, that must have been miserable. And I was like, I was cold, but I had a lot of fun. Just getting locked into the hunt, I think when you're able to completely disconnect, it makes a huge difference.
What are y'all drinking? I see Heaven Hill there.
Yes, Heaven Hill, Bottle and Bond.
There you go.
Nice.
Did you pour one yet?
What's that?
Y'all poured one yet?
Poured one. It's almost gone. Yeah.
Good deal. Just making sure.
Good. Cheers. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. Thank y'all for coming on here.
How do you like the pinhook?
I like it, man. I can see why you like it. I actually, we talked a little bit of trash on it when we got it, but I do enjoy it. I'm a big unfiltered fan. So, yeah, not bad at all. It's better than I expect for 5 years.
Yeah, and it's accessible either. Unlike the bottle that's to your right, that's damn near not accessible, and good juice for a low proof bourbon just is probably overpriced, right?
Well, since we're here, if you were going to do a razzle for this bottle, how much would you pay for a ticket?
Well, I just got 2 bottles at retail, so
How much for a ticket?
Bottles at retail, so
Right.
I'd pay $100.
You'd pay $100 for a ticket? How about you?
25.
Well, I'll tell you what, for $5, you can join our Patreon and be entered to win. That's pretty.
There you go.
We're giving it away at the end of the month, so that's
Well, we thought rated that one for you guys.
yeah, you did, and I was hoping that you would. Yeah, no, it's
a good bottle. It's overpriced.
Dude, you got a good. We will not make our money back on this bottle. I can tell you that. So you got a really good chance at winning it. Just letting you know.
That's true.
For anybody listening, you could literally join for 1 month and then cancel, and I mean that's fine if you want to do that.
It's enough that I may create some fake accounts and register $5.
We can do that agreement. We'll split it with you. You send me half back, and I'll make you the winner.
Yeah,
We'll all create 10 accounts, make a little hype thing going.
Yeah.
Get people to dive in.
Get it moving. I think we got 18 people in there, so it's pretty good odds. Plus, you get access to the Discord, and that's where all the fun is.
That is where all the fun is.
But yeah. So the struggle is real, right?
Yes, to say the least.
And that's, you still go by that? I remember that was used to be.
Yeah, I say a lot early on, and I think everybody can relate to that. You know, I don't think we walk around acting like we're some victims that life's so hard. I think what we're saying is it's tough to want to have a career, have a family, have a hobby, take your kids out, hunt yourself, go film your buddies. I think that's all we were trying to say, right? It's not necessarily hunting is a struggle, but it's tough to balance all this. One of the things that we've never tried to portray is we're not full-time hunters. We don't do this for a living. We are amateurs. And what I mean by that is we are hunting to hunt. We're not being paid by anybody. And we don't have hours to set up trail cameras as much as we'd like to, plant food plots. And some people can. That's awesome. They're maybe doing it better than us. But yeah, it's a struggle. I mean, it candidly is to try to balance everything at times. It's a little bit overwhelming. But
part of that, what that statement means to me is like, you talk about, I think we all have like objectives or things that we want to accomplish in certain areas of our life. And, you know, some things that we did this fall where I was filming him and going with him out in the field, made some other areas of my life sacrifice. So then I got to find time to make up for those. And it's just like a vicious circle of how do you balance all these things and be the dad that you want, the husband that you want, be the hunterman that you want, the fisherman that you want. Hunterman, if you picked up on that.
I heard.
I figured I'd call it out before you guys did.
Yeah.
Very nice guy. But yeah, just the balance of all that it can be taxing at times.
It's hard. You're talking to two guys in the same. That's why I love it, because the struggle is real. And a lot of people go, well, it must be nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. When it's up, it's nice. But it's not always up.
Be some victim of, oh my God, it's so hard, feel sorry for us. That's not at any point what we intended to say. The struggle is real, but
right.
it is a struggle to try to do it all. I just asked Lance to go on a bear hunt and this coming June, first week of June. My wife's 6 months pregnant. She's due at the end of May. My other buddy can't go. He's trying to figure out if he can go. And it's like, man, we just want to go on a simple bear hunt. That's all we want to do. And it seems to be 17 phone calls and to try to figure out just a bear hunt. That's all we want to do. And that's where we mean the struggle is real. Can we find babysitters for the kids? Can we ensure the wife's can have us go? Can my wife have a baby early enough for me to go? It's just a lot to balance and juggle. And we want to do 8 hunts this year. Would love to, but the reality is we're probably going to do 2 or 3. Yeah. So just trying to balance it all, man. And that's what we mean by that.
Yep. And we, it's why I wrote it down, because it resonates with us. I mean, how many times did you hunt last year, Gus?
Thrice.
Yeah. I hunted 3 times last year, because the struggle is that this is real. It's like during hunting season coincides with shopping season, and we're super busy making products. We can't go on hunting trips anymore. I mean, we've been on elk trips. We used to go to Virginia, North Carolina in the woods and hunt. We just don't have time, which just, it sucks. But this year we're changing that.
Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to have people on to talk about lessons that we learned last year. We learned that we need to plan way ahead of time when we're going to start hunting. And we've already talked about our struggles, but I wanted to learn, why are your struggles real? What did you learn last year that you're going to put forward this year?
Yeah. Well, one, you just said is key. One of the things we're going to do after this podcast is look at a calendar and try to figure out what we would love to do. I met with Wes 2 nights ago. We went over what he would love to do versus what we need to do or really want to do. I asked him, can you film this hunt, this hunt? He said, yes, no. Now I'm going to sit down with Lance, and now we can go talk to our significant others and our wives and decide what we really can do and then book it. Versus, I think last year it was, I asked him to go to Ohio, which was last week in September. I think I asked him around Labor Day. And that's not necessarily fair to the families.
That's what I was going to say. My struggle last year was that everything was off the cuff 2 or 3 weeks away. And by the 3rd trip, she was like, okay. Like, when are you going to take me on vacation?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so we were trying to do a better job of planning this year. I know my wife keeps saying, hey, I'll support whatever you want to do, but can we just sit down and plan a calendar so it's not, hey, in 2 weeks, I'm going to go to this state and go with Lance hunting or go this state with Wes. So I think that's the thing we're trying to do this year.
Yeah.
I was able to book a hunt in Indiana, a season pass, and I went 0 times, paid in full, and never made it down there 1 time. And that sucks. I don't care what anybody says, that sucks. So it is what it is. I didn't do a very good job planning last year.
Yeah. That's definitely a huge on our list. We both talked about that on a couple episodes ago. We discussed lessons learned and plans for this year, and it was being more deliberate in our planning, not just, let's try to hit this spot this year and let's try to go back up to North Carolina. No, we need to, and we have dates. Actually, we've been working on dates for trade shows and stuff that we need to try and get to. We haven't even sat down and started looking at hunts yet. But yeah, it is definitely a juggling act, and the spouses most certainly appreciate more than a couple weeks heads up.
Otherwise, you end up doing last-minute vacations, and those are not cheap.
No, they're not. I think we both did late, spur of the moment vacations to make up for other lost.
Yep, I booked an Airbnb in the mountains to watch the leaves change in Asheville the week before I went. What do you think that costs?
And I'm sure there's people listening saying, no shit, you're supposed to plan ahead and you review a calendar. And those people probably don't have kids, married, and on full-time jobs, because you're right. If I didn't have a child, or if he has 3 kids,
right.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You can just do what you want. That doesn't work that way. My wife also has a career.
Right.
So we're trying to juggle it all, and let's just be honest. We're guys, and sometimes we don't do the best job of.
I was going to say, maybe they do have all those things, and they're criticizing.
Yeah,
they're just better at it.
They're better at it.
That's possible.
Maybe we just drink too much bourbon. And
that's what I was going to say. Is I have all these ideas that I'm going to do this weekend, and then Friday gets here, and it's like, all right, you just start pouring.
Yeah.
So what else did you learn? Anything equipment wise?
I'll tell you what. Yeah. I'm 39. I started bow hunting when I was 13. And here I am feeling pretty confident. And I decided to jump to the infamous thumb release this year.
Yeah.
And I was going to do it by myself. I went and bought a new bow. Figured it's the best time to do it. And I am shooting left no matter what I can do. My pins are buried. I've actually shifted over my drop away rest. No matter what I can do, I'm shooting, left. And season's approaching, and I can't, just can't figure it out. I go to the archery shop, and the owner walks by me. You know, he's one of these old, ordinary guys, and says, "You're pulling it. You ain't supposed to pull it," and like punches my back.
Yeah.
That's your problem. I look at him, and so he grabs my shoulder and he says, "I want you to do this." And I do it, and it was like a perfect shot. And I'm like, oh, man. And it just felt awkward. So I ended up, you know, bailing out and going back to my normal trigger release. And I guess the lesson learned for me is, first off, you know, I probably should have not jumped to something new without maybe asking somebody for help versus just, you know, thinking, hey, I've watched it on TV, I watched it on YouTube, I've watched videos I can figure out myself, and I didn't figure it out myself. So that was a big lesson for me. And I then developed target panic, big time, trigger panic.
This is why you start with the silverback, and then once you perfect that one, because that one's based all on, you know, the actual pressure of drawing.
Yep.
And then you can move. Yeah, that's where you got to start.
Yeah. So that was a big lesson for me, and I lost a lot of my confidence. Even going back to the trigger, and something I've been doing, you know, for 20 some years. And I'm still building my confidence back. And it's weird is how far I've digressed in my career of archery hunting, you know, and having no confidence. So I think by this fall, I'll have my confidence back, and I'll be, you know, having a little bit of swagger than being nervous to pull my bow back, or embarrassed to pull my bow back, or not wanting to shoot around people because, you know, here I am hunting my whole life and I terrible shot.
Well, you know what they say, you got to take a step back sometimes to take 3 steps forward. So I think
I took 2 or 3 steps back.
Yeah. Well, you might have to jump forward then to make up the time.
I think B-Man's going to be better at me.
Well, that's the goal, right? For your kid to be better.
Really, yep. And he probably will be, in all honesty. So I think it was big for me. How about you?
For me, it was camera.
I was going to say, what'd you learn behind the lens?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the real short version. We spent 2 months getting me ready, and this is on the. He actually built it into the story for Sportsman Channel. It's kind of cool. That was an honor. But spent 2 months getting me ready. My confidence up of how to run the camera. We walk out to the blind. I about crap myself. It is this crap ass little plastic blind with sawzall holes cut in it. There's no place to sit. So we finally figured out how we're going to set up. I said the only thing that could go wrong is if the buck comes in extreme left. That's where the buck came in.
Yeah. Exactly. Of course.
So I learned a lot really fast about like setup. I should have a monopod in the blind with me at all times, because the tripod sometimes just isn't going to accommodate what you need.
Yeah. So
I was bare armed over his shoulder trying to raw dog hold this camera up. So we figured a lot out. Texas hunt went a lot more smooth because of that. So just a lot of watching, observing, taking mental notes, and adjusting. So it was a cool experience. So
definitely. Well, we're at the first 25 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and hit our jingle, and then I want you to do because, you know, people drop off, they don't have time to listen to the whole thing, so I want to make sure we get all your stuff out first. So tell everybody where to find you. So this week's plug of the week, we'll go ahead and play it. Uh-huh.
Oops.
It's time for the plug of the week.
And this week's plug of the week is Working Man Bowhunter, and tell them where they can find you.
You can find us on Instagram at Working Man Bowhunter. You also can watch our TV show, Mountaintop Outdoors, on the Sportsman's Channel, airing every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We also have a YouTube channel, Working Man Bowhunter, or The Climb on YouTube. It's our digital platform series that was started this year. So reach out to us, connect. We always are looking to chat with people.
Hell yeah.
you guys are hot tech.
Yeah, we try to make it as cheesy as possible. It's a goal.
Nailed it.
So did you have something else you were
We
following
plan
up
on
with?
linking all those together one day. So it's like we can just play the plugs all at once of like everyone that we had, this like a monthly roll up or whatever. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to did you have something to transition into? Because I have my next point is longer.
Okay, no, I had a question about something I saw in a video. There's a video you have on your YouTube page, the one that's kind of pinned at the top and just plays when you start it, just when you get to your page. There is a tree stand that you guys get into. It looks like it was hand built, like a platform.
Yep.
Can you tell me the story behind that?
So I didn't build it. It's in a northern New Brunswick,
Okay.
and it's where we go bear hunting. Been up there 8 years in a row.
Okay.
Bear Paw Outfitters, and he builds all his stands that way.
Yeah.
But imagine, if you hunt in the Midwest, you go with Outfitters, you're going to brand new, sturdy, reliable, lock-ons or ladder stands, and Wes and I show up to the stand, and we're looking at this like, oh boy.
When I saw it, it was such a contrast to all your other gear and everything. And I was like, I bet that was a surprise. Like, I bet that was not planned. Oh, either that or it's got a really great story behind it. So I wrote that down as something I wanted to ask about. Because I've seen,
you are right.
Matt and I hunted out of a blind that called the Treehouse that his uncle built. And
It's exactly what you think.
it is a, and built in the middle of a tree. It's like 30 feet up.
It's high.
A wooden ladder. It's got moss growing on it. It's slippery, and
It's got deck tape on the ladder, but it's still slippery because there's moss on the deck tape.
yeah, it's good times. Anyways,
And the best thing about that blind that you mentioned is the outfitter likes to use sometimes chicken fat, chicken grease, and it's bright orange. And so we put it out the first night. We come back the next day to hunt, and there's bear paw chicken fat everywhere in the blind. And we're like, what's the problem?
He put it in the blind?
The bear did. The bear,
The bear took it up there. Yeah.
And then you could see bear prints everywhere in the blind.
Nice.
And we're like, man, it's kind of eerie that the bear was up here.
So the whole time you're sitting in there, you're just watching your back to make sure nothing's climbing up the tree.
So a small bear showed up and started coming up, and we're like, man, this is going to end really badly.
Yeah.
If you keep coming.
So one of our friends, Brian, he's an executive producer of the show, but he sees bears all the time. And we're not telling stories out of school or anything, but they don't always live when they start climbing up the tree.
Yep. When you're bowling, I don't blame them.
Yeah. Yeah. No pistol because you can't bring a pistol in the woods during bow season. Yeah.
And you can't carry a pistol in Canada.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's right.
oh, that's right, Canada.
Yep. So.
A.
Yeah.
All right.
So I know that you're not a huge fan of, or not, maybe not a fan isn't the right word, but you don't do a lot of public land hunting. Is there a reason?
So a couple of things. Yeah. We're from Michigan. My dad had a bad experience. I don't know how many years ago, 15, 20 years ago, time flies, where he went on public land and goes out for opening a gun, and it starts to get light, and you look around and there's people 100 yards away from you in orange, and next thing you know, you hear pow, and you hear things coming through the leaves behind you, and he just thought it was overall dangerous and scary.
Yeah.
So that was his one run-in. But I think where we're located, it's just it's overhunted. I think it's just the risk versus reward doesn't outweigh, or the reward or risk doesn't outweigh each other. So to me, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
With a little bit of time we have, it's just too dangerous, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
I tell you what, guys, if you go to northern Michigan where there's thousands of state land, and maybe you're familiar with it, by all means, but we're down here, we're just north of Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
There's very little state land, and the stuff that there is, it's overhunted big time.
I can imagine. So
you do mostly outfitters or door knocking?
So we used to own land, and we've since sold that off. Just got too hard to manage. It was up in Farwell, Michigan, which is about 3 hours north of where we're from. So we sold that. We had a couple of, farmland that we leased. And then, little by little, it seemed like every farmer's cousin, niece, or somebody wanted to hunt and got kicked off. And so now it's usually buddies. We got quite a few buddies that have land in different states, or outfitters. So I think that's pretty much where we are right now. Is like Jeremiah from Mountaintop. He has a ton of land and leases in different states. So connecting with him and whatnot is what we've been doing.
I gotcha. And Lance, did you hunt before, or you just got drug in?
Actually, the last time I hunted was with some property that Butch secured from a farmer, just knocking on doors, kind of thing, and had the right to hunt there. But even that, the last day that I hunted there, I got out there hour before daybreak, all set up in my blind bow, and here comes some joker with a crossbow and a metal folding chair walking 30 yards in front of me, oblivious to what's going on an hour after sunrise.
Yeah.
So that's a little frustrating.
We've been we're kind of lucky where we are because we have so much public land that you could go any day of the season and you won't see anybody. Just if you go to the right spot. Because there's main roads and people just park on the main road and they own that acre. Nobody else will park there. But if you go back an hour in, you won't see anybody you can camp back there. You won't see anybody all weekend. Mm-hmm. So it's
I'm not against public land hunting. It's just not for me. And I tell you, there's people that make a living off it or hunting, career off it, and that's outstanding. More power to them. It's just not. It doesn't fit for what I'm trying to do with the little bit of time I have to hunt. Yeah. I'd much rather go to a spot that I'm not worried about safety or being ruined. That's just me.
Yeah, for sure.
No, it's definitely. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I think you point out the difference, right? It depends on the environment you're in too. We're in a pretty densely pressured public area.
Sure.
If maybe we had the opportunity for some public land that was a little less pressured,
right?
You could take a little bit more of an ownership of a certain parcel and learn the movement of the animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit more appealing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you also kind of said it without saying it, but time is a huge thing, right? If you're going to be successful on public land, you got to put in time and do the scouting. And if you're already working with a minimal amount of time that you need to maximize, that time, then playing around on public land is just not a good option.
Yeah. I'm going to start right now going out and looking at, while the leaves are not there, looking at trails and looking at places that deer are and finding my new spot for next year because it's, I'm going to try and do a little more public land, but I don't have kids, so I have that benefit, and my wife likes walking around the woods with me. So it's for me that works, but a lot of people it doesn't. But then, will that mean I'll be successful? No, probably not. But that doesn't necessarily mean paying for an outfitter you'll be successful either, right? Or you guys aren't successful every time you go to an outfitter, right?
Oh my goodness! Yeah. So two things is one, the land that Lance was referring to was a farmer knocked on his door. Said, "Yep, you can hunt." And there's not a lot of farmers that do that in Michigan. We found the one who let everybody who knocked hunt. It was the exact opposite. So, I bet you there's 10, 11 people hunt on there. Beautiful piece of property. I shot a really nice buck off it a few years ago.
You shot two nice bucks in the same day.
Yeah, I tagged out the same day. Nice. Beautiful deer. This goes back 5 years ago now, 6 years ago. Yeah. Anyhow, I put a trail camera out there and it got stolen. I had another buddy who put a pop-up light out there and it got stolen. So hunters that got permission to hunt this land were stealing stuff. And it's like, man, why do you got to do that? Here we are, he's hunt on there. And eventually the farmer got sick of it all and just kicked everybody off. So everyone's off. Now back to your point about outfitters is first off, when we go with outfitters, typically we stay with that outfitter and become friends with them. And it's more than just showing up once a year, hunting and leaving. We've become pretty darn good friends with a lot of outfitters where we go to the same one every single year.
Yeah.
I went to Ohio and I think we go with Brad and Killenbuck Outfitters, which I think is one of the best places to hunt. I've been there 7 times and shot 1 time. And it was this year with Lance. Wow. And I keep going back every single year, not because I'm guaranteed a buck. I'm not. It's because it's the experience. Now where I go in Texas, I've been able to go 3 for 3. Where I go in Kentucky, I've yet to kill, and I've been there 5 times. So when I'm booking a hunt, I'm not going off, did I kill or not? I'm going off, can I become friends with the owner? Is it worth going? Is it good people in camp? Is it good camaraderie?
Yeah.
So to me, hunting is not going and seeing a lot of deer, which is a bonus, or killing. It's the whole package for me. So I love going on trips. I love it.
If part of that package included a whiskey class one of the nights, would you be more inclined to go to that spot?
Oh my God, yes.
That's what I thought. We're trying to get down to go see our buddy Colton. I know you guys have been there a couple times.
Oh my God. I tell you what, fellas, it's an incredible place. It really is. They, first off, Colton and his brother Tyler are just solid dudes. It's a pretty surreal operation to think about 43,000 continuous acres. Yeah. It's I believe it's 9 miles by 13 miles piece of property.
It's wild.
That's insane. But yeah, if you guys are ever going down there, let me know when. I'll be showing up to drink some good juice and to chop it up. But yeah, that's a cool place. We're going down there again this coming October, and then I'll take B-Man down there again for his birthday in January.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm already booked twice, and Wes is booked too.
We're talking to a couple ranches this winter, and it's more like who pulls the trigger first. So, well, I'm not gonna. I don't. I guess maybe I hope it's Colton more than any of the other ranches, but we'll see. I just think because I like him, and we're all kind of like in that same little text group. Even though I'm not in there very often, I'm just so busy. But yeah, I think that'd be a good time to go down there and hang out with them. Is that the best place you've ever hunted? As far as potential,
FE Hill's a tough place to say it's not number one. I've been to FE Hill 4 times. We went hawk hunting last spring with Jason Jeter, who's John Hill's buddy. And then I've been hunting with John Hill in the fall 3 times. And it's an overall pretty remarkable place. The deer, the camaraderie, it's some good old Texas boys, I'm going to tell you that. I think. So I will say that's definitely a cool place. So,
but
totally
probably Texas.
Places. What's that?
But probably Texas, you would say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. If you were to pick a state, by far, I love Texas or Ohio.
Texas.
Yeah.
So we had Trekking on last week, and they said Texas. Texas was the best.
Yeah, well, it's the whitetail capital of the world. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's surreal, and a lot of people are hard on Texas, and I think, I don't want to make people upset, but I think it's a little bit of jealousy because it is that surreal. And if you can go down there and experience it, and experience true fair chase, low fence hunting, I don't know how they grow deer that big or get deer that big. Yeah. I don't.
I'll tell you what, though, the other side of that is just what you spoke to. We went down to FE Hill, and between John Hill, his cook, and his 4 guides, there wasn't a dude in there that I wouldn't, pick up the phone, go hang out with. Right. They called me because they're all just like real salty the earth kind of dudes. They're real cowboys, and there's nothing flashy about them. They're not cocky, very respectful. They're just a pleasure to be around.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes a huge difference.
Sounds like my kind of people.
Yeah.
I've spent plenty of time in Texas, but I've never hunted whitetail in Texas. So
I haven't either. I've hunted hogs in Texas.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I haven't done that either.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the most exciting things I've done in my life. We put on the night gear, and we had night optics on our guns, and he put the truck in creep mode, turned all the lights off. You're sitting in the truck with your helmet and your night vision on, and you got this nice semi-auto weapon in front of you with the thermal imaging on it. And then he stops the truck, and you get out and you're following him under the light of the moon. And then you flip your goggles down, and then you're hunting hogs, and you're trying to stalk within 25, 30 yards of them. And when you take that first shot, sometimes there's a dozen of them in front of us. Then it's just a matter of, how fast can you adjust the gun with the confidence to pull the trigger. And we had a lot of fun doing it. A lot of fun.
I'll tell you this, if the conversation ever comes up, Gus and I are friends with AGM Global Vision, which is the industry leading of night vision and infrared technology, and they will bring the brand new stuff that hasn't even hit the market yet, crazy things that we're not even allowed to talk about, but we've seen them, and they're insane, and they will bring them anywhere we want to go to kill hogs. Just letting you know.
Well, I have your number now, so.
Yeah.
They have a ridiculous marketing budget, and they just hired a new marketing guy who we met while we were
His name is Matt, too.
At a recent event, and last year. Super cool guys, very laid back, and they make toys, and they love to play with them.
They have toys. Like, you've never seen toys. They have toys. I'll send you some pictures of some of it.
Yeah,
I tell you what, nighttime hog hunting was probably the coolest experience I've ever had, right?
That's what I was just saying. Have you guys ever
I've done it, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Well, the ones that I have were like old Army junk, so it's very granulated, but the ones that AGM has is crystal clear. I mean, you can see everything crystal clear. Looking at a human being, it's like they're just a green human. That's all it is. But as far as out in the bush and chasing them, it's a lot of fun, especially with dogs. We had dogs, and watching those dogs bay and then catch, fascinating.
Yeah, when we were coming up on the hogs, when we got close to them, when you look through the scope of the gun, you could see the warmth of the vitals. You couldn't see all the definition, but you could definitely see the warmth of the vitals and in their head. And I mean, it was like, it's some amazing technology.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wait till if you ever get the chance to see. If we're gonna do Snipers Unknown again, it's in South Carolina. If you're bored, it's in October though, which is hunting time. But if you want to come down and look at it, I can show their stuff it's wild. They're probably 6 months from finishing a patent on it before it's available, and then it probably won't be for sale till next year. But it's some stuff from the future. It's crazy looking, right? I'm not exaggerating here.
One of the pieces of equipment takes multiple pieces of optical equipment and combines them into a single piece. That's all I'm honestly comfortable describing, because I don't know how much like they've shared that with
It'd
people.
be like if you took a red pen and drew the outline of a deer. Like imagine that and night vision and everything else, and just your brain runs wild as to what this thing looks like. It's like Predator.
Yeah,
it looks like Predator.
I'll say this: the competitors at this competition are some of our country's most elite marksmen in terms of.
Well, we can just say there's Navy SEALs, there's Green Berets, Ranger Bat. I mean, these are SIFSIC instructors. I mean, crazy.
These are people that live and breathe with a finger on a trigger and with their eyes to an optic. And when they were out that evening showing these guys this piece of equipment, these guys could not get their phone numbers and cards out to these guys fast enough because it was just unreal. So they have some really cool stuff. And are we still doing that coyote hunt with them, or did that fall through?
Yeah, I don't know, because we're waiting on somebody else.
Oh, okay.
There's another company involved that wants to do stuff, but they're a large company. Just getting them to sync together is just impossible. So we'll see.
Sure.
But yeah, we had a plan to go up. Where are we going?
Here, the local
here?
boy outfitter is a company here. The guy owns a bunch of land. He was like, I have coyotes and hogs. Come kill them all.
I thought for some reason we were going to Minnesota. Is that a different?
Oh, that
one?
was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a way different.
We should probably put those on the calendar.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna do some predator hunting this year as well, because we clearly can't kill deer.
Then that's the one thing I'd love to do. I shot my first coyote with Colton at the Low Ranch Ranch, and smaller one. But I would absolutely love to go on a predator hunt. It's just one of the things one of those bucket list hunts I haven't done yet.
Does he have to call him in? No, it's not. It doesn't sound stupid at all.
So when we were in Texas for the hog hunt, they set us up pretty well. They gave us keys to the truck. They left us with the right gun, and we brought our own predator call. And we talked about options to set up. And the second night that we went out and set up, we had one start calling, and then we heard a second one calling. And by the time dusk came, there were 5 of them. And I think they were calling each other in more than they were coming to our call. But they were all moving in on us, but we didn't have any night equipment for that hunt. But man, you want to talk about, that was bone chilling, but just exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
Heart
sure.
dropping. Cool as hell. But I didn't get to shoot one yet. So that's on my list too now.
It's fun, man. That when the darkness adds a lot to it, because you can see, but you can't see. And it's the...
Then your mind starts seeing stuff that your eyes really aren't seeing.
You know how at dusk you see the biggest deer you've ever seen, or or at dawn, and then you realize it's a bush or something. But like, my eyes will just start shaking because I'll see something and it's like a buck and he's posturing and moving around, but it's not. I know that it's not. But the night vision, it'll do that too, because you're like, why? Just because you can't see that clear, but you can hear it, and you're like, where is it at? But it's probably a squirrel or a raccoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing how a squirrel can sound like a 200-pound buck walking through the forest. Huh?
It's nuts. It can sound like a coyote running at you to bite you, or a bear. It can sound like everything. I think it may be not knowing what those things sound like. Because when you hear a buck, you know that's a buck. You don't think, oh, that's a squirrel.
You got a well in your hand? Looks like what, antique?
Yeah, it's one of our store picks.
Boom.
It's delicious.
Always good solid pour.
Yep. Good juice.
We've got all these Camp Hero Starlight picks that we need to open, but I think I'm going to wait for somebody else to get them as well, so we can open them together.
Who else do we know that got them?
Brandon Larson.
That's it.
Yeah. He plays for the Astros, so I thought that would be kind of cool to have him on here and open the Starlight picks together. What's your favorite?
Old Carter.
Really?
Oh my God.
I mean, it's good. Yeah. I'm not saying.
Oh, he just dissed you.
No. I was saying I
it's
wasn't
good,
dissing
yeah.
you.
No, it's a surprising
I was
answer.
just
Like,
surprising
Just heard,
answer.
like, you,
So we
this is coming from the guys that mixed. Would you mix Evan Williams and early times?
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah, and you guys liked it though.
You guys cracked me up with that stuff. I'm watching this. I'm like, oh God, I had no clue they were mixing.
No, I know that was the point.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That's hilarious.
We had a blast doing that. But Old Carter Rise, we have batches, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Mhm.
And I just traded to get my first Old Carter bourbon, and that should be in the mail either Wednesday or Thursday. So thus far, I would say, for me personally, I would say Old Carter batch number 6 rye, Willet purple top. I got 2 different purple tops.
That's a solid pick. A lot of people don't say that either. Willet Purple Top's really good.
Oh my God, I love Willet purple top. I will say I love Mister's barrel strength rye.
Yep, that's a good one.
And then I'm going to throw another one at you, Weller foolproof.
Not worth the price, but it's a good one.
Yep, I would agree.
We got a store pick that's pretty special.
And then
That's awesome.
I'm looking at my collection, and EH Taylor barrel proof.
Yeah.
I would say are probably my top 5.
Yeah, those are good picks, man. I like the EHT barrel proof. Have you had the rye?
Yep, I got a rye.
The
That's
EHT rye
good.
is really good.
It is.
It's outstanding.
And I'm going to throw one more at you guys that we are a really big fan of is the very old St. Nick lineup. Love them all.
You do? Well, I'm gonna send you the one I bought because I don't like it. I'll
Really?
tape it up real nice and drop it in the mail.
I love it.
Summer Harvest Rye. Love it.
Yep.
I think it's the winter rye is what I've got.
I don't have the winter
We don't
rye.
have the winter rye.
Yeah,
Okay,
set it
so I
up.
picked the bad one.
yeah,
It's the one we don't
maybe we
have.
need to try some of the other ones because we tried that one and pretty much wrote them all off.
Yeah, I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done buying these.
No, we got the 8, the 12, the 13, and then the harvest, the summer harvest rye.
Do you have the skinny? The skinny? Is it the
Yeah.
skinny one? Is it 13?
Yeah, the Summer Harvest Rye is a skinnier
Oh, the
one.
summer harvest. Yeah, okay. How's that one?
Love it.
Really good. Like the Summer Harvest, and then the other one is, I can't remember the name of it. It's another Harvest Rye. But one tastes like pear and one tastes like apple. And just like in the front, it's got like a crisp apple taste to it.
Sure.
And then it comes off with the cinnamon and the mint. It's phenomenal. Great pour.
We might have to get another one.
Yeah.
We signed them all off because of that one, but I don't know. I also haven't had it in a while. Maybe I'll pop it and try. I put it on the top
Thanks.
shelf and was like, "Don't touch that one."
They ain't cheap either.
No, they're not cheap.
I know.
That's the thing that does suck.
So if you ain't going to enjoy it, it's going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I'll definitely send it to you. I'll try it again, and if I still don't like it, I'll send it your way. That way you have the whole lineup.
What are you guys reaching when it's top lineup for you?
Yeah. You're not gonna like our answers, but you want to go
No,
first?
So it's people are always surprised. I just had this conversation with someone else the other day, but I have really modest, like easy to find, like everyday bourbons that are
Perfect.
like Evan Williams bottled and bond.
Okay.
Evan Williams single barrel. I like
I'm a wild turkey freak.
Wild Turkey 101.
Wild Turkey 101 is like, that's what I drink. If I go to a bar, if I'm feeling a little special, I'll get sweet tea and bourbon. And I get, half a glass of sweet tea and fill it the rest of the way up with bourbon with Wild Turkey. I like Wild Turkey's, I like Russell's store picks. Always get excited. Depending on the warehouse, I get excited when I see those. I'm not a huge fan of the barrel proof, both ryes. And then Dusty's. If I see a Wild Turkey Dusty available, that's my pappy. That's something from like the 2000s, the 90s, the 80s,
Okay.
70s. If I see a 101 from 1990 to or 1960 to 2004 or 5, that's my pappy. So when people spend $1,000 on pappy, I'm like, that's bananas. But I will spend $500-600 on an old Dusty Wild Turkey. I just bought a 2002 101 for $260, and it's maybe the best thing I've ever drank in my life. Maybe.
Really?
Yeah. Show them that old Taylor bottle.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. We got this old Taylor bottle.
Yeah, I saw you guys getting it. Was that the one you got from the back of a trunk?
That's sweet.
Yeah, that's exactly back of a trunk. Yep. That's a wild story, dude. You want to know that story? I didn't want to tell it because it's not my story to tell, but
I'll own it.
all right. It's this guy he posted like on Facebook and was like, I have 8 to 10,000 mini bottles that I want to get rid of. They're a mix of all kinds of stuff. And the story goes, this old man collected them all, and then something happened and he got rid of them. Somebody bought them his son took over. So maybe he died. His son kept going. And it's like 40 years of people collecting mini bottles from all over the world. So the majority of them are like American Airlines mini bottles. They say American Airlines on them.
Is this the story that I heard on the news?
I don't know. Was it stolen? Because I'm pretty freaking sure this dude stole this stuff.
No, there was a sale price, a big price tag for these mini bottles. So I'm sorry. Go ahead with your story.
I mean, I don't know. He said that he paid $300 for them, which either he's lying or he stole them. But I know he won't send pictures to anybody. You have to meet him and look at it. And he just showed up. It's a buddy of mine. He called him and said, I'm on the way down. Meet me tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. at this Walmart parking lot. And we were like, what? No. So we picked noon because we figured more people would be there. So I'm like strapped up, concealed carry permit. Like I was pretty sure I was going to plug this dude. And I mean, he just seemed sketchy, but he wasn't. He was fine. But yeah, he had 10, 15 boxes and a Chrysler 300 just stacked. Every box he could fit in there was in there. Trunk, back seat, front seat. Full of mini bottles, and
A traveling salesman.
he didn't. I'm not going to say what he sold for, but I promise you, I pulled 10 or 11 out that they're going to be able to resell and make their money back. So there's probably 5,000 mini bottles, I had to guess. But he says he has a storage locker full of them, and he has decanters, and he was like, I got Wheelers, and he's like naming stuff, and I'm like, it's Weller, but I pulled this one out, the Old Taylor. And he was like, I have some of those that are in tubes. And I was like, wow, that's interesting. You should send me a picture. And he was like, nope. He's like, here's where I live, the town I live in. He was like, come to that town, get a hotel room, and then I'll take you and show it to you. I'm like, all right. Well, it's nice meeting you.
Yeah, no kidding.
This all sounds a little creepy. You went a lot further than I would.
Plot twist, he owns the hotel and you never leave.
Yeah. This is all true story. I'm not lying to you. Even my buddy that he knows how much money all this stuff's worth. He flips old bottles. He's the guy I buy my old stuff from. He was like, no, I'm not. I'm definitely not risking that.
That sounds creepy, bro.
Yeah, that's what it was. But that's what we drink. I drink Wild Turkey mainly, and Gus is
But I mean, I like
Evan Williams.
don't
get me wrong. We'll drink Weller all day.
We like higher end stuff. I don't know. I'm words.
Yeah.
I am perfectly satisfied sitting down with, I think the question that someone asked me the other day was, if you had to pick one to drink forever, like the rest of your life, what would it be? And I think I told him,
We get asked that a lot.
yeah,
What would y'all pick forever?
yeah, drink one bourbon forever. That was it. Only one bottle.
It would be a rye.
Yeah.
Would it?
Yeah, definitely. When I'm like after dinner or something, I'm always heading toward the ryes. I like them better.
I do too, and I didn't before I got COVID. After I got COVID, I lost taste and smell for almost 6 months. And you can see it in our content where I'm like, oh, caramel and vanilla. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But when I got it back, ryes were just money.
Yeah.
But a rye that has it finishes like a bourbon to me is like chocolate pie or something. I don't know. It's so good. As you said, after dinner.
What's your Elijah Craig did you pour there?
Oh, I love it. Toasted barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I love Elijah Craig as well.
Yeah. I will say that it's one of my go-to bottles.
I have like 14 of them.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really like the Elijah Craig. I like the barrel proofs the most, but
I tell you a bottle that I like a lot that I'm just looking at over at Albaza I have is Eagle Rare is one of my favorite everyday pours. I really enjoy that one a lot.
It's hard for a lot of people to get every day, though.
it is.
It's becoming harder. I would agree. At one point, you could walk in any Meyer up in here in Michigan and find it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's damn near impossible. I really like High West, the Rendezvous or the Double Rye.
Yeah.
The Rendezvous or Double Rye.
Double Rye.
Yeah, yep. I really enjoy those a lot.
Which double rye do you have? Which cask is it?
He's talking about the standard pour double rye.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about they have like the finished series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're okay.
The one that he has is the Aquavit.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. The Jamaican rum one is the shit.
Yeah, we've been trying to get our hands on more of those. We just have a hard time coming by in Michigan.
Well, you know where you could find them at easily? Any kind of high west you want? Our Patreon page.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We got a guy.
How much would it cost?
We have
me
a
to get on
guy.
there?
We have a guy in Utah.
Yeah, we have a guy in Utah. He gets us our boo rye or whatever we want. Whatever you want from High West, he just drives over there and gets it.
Yeah, when we were looking for midwinter night jam,
Yeah, he got us
people
midwinter.
just walking out with a case of it. They
That's
were
what he
selling
did.
them 6 at a time.
They were $100, I think, and he was
Mhm.
like, whoever wants one, and he went and bought a case, and everybody at Patreon that wanted one got one. He just got us boo rye. It's in the mail now.
I got a boo rye. That's fun.
I'm just
Cool
saying.
stuff.
For $5 a month, it's on Discord. So $3 a month, you don't get anything other than you get early episodes. But $5 a month, $5 a month to find these bottles, it's worth it at least for the community aspect. We don't do it like a money grab. Also, we don't get paid a single dollar. It goes invests back into the company. But enough about that.
Sure.
We're gonna do our
So,
last. Go ahead.
I just never got to chime in. You talked over the top of me, but the one whiskey that I keep going back to. Number one, you said you like the 101 better than the single barrel, but I like the Russell single barrel rye. It's one of my favorites. I think it's just a really, really nice drinker. Pikesville rye is another one of my go-tos.
Yeah, I don't have one. I have one of those at home. I don't know that it's open right now. I don't think that I've opened that.
You didn't have one.
We had.
I don't think
So
I've
you've
opened
never
that
had
yet.
Oh, okay.
It's not here, right?
I don't know.
I'll say we'd
can't
open
keep
it here.
track.
I know I have one. I don't think I've had that yet. Now I need to
That's
try
what
it.
you can find anywhere here that
Yeah,
I enjoy.
I see it pretty often.
Old Forester 1920.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I like that one. That's
I would
good.
say there. If you had to give me one forever, it'd be that bottle.
Have you done the 1915 yet?
No, we haven't. I've been. It's been popping up a lot lately that it's better than the 20.
So you do the 10 and the 20 and you blend it together. That's what the 1915 is. And
Yeah.
it's fantastic. I would blend it, let it sit a little bit. I wouldn't just taste it the same day,
Okay.
but it's actually really good. It's kind of played out now, but if you haven't done it, you should definitely do it. I still like
That's all right. I'm okay with played out.
Yeah.
50 now.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
can relate.
Yep. All right, we're going to do this, our plug or a random fact now, and then we'll talk about it.
Random fact of the week.
This random fact of the week is brought to you by the Whiskey and Whitetails podcast, which is us. It's all a joke if you haven't noticed. So
Yeah.
Konstantin Rafanisk in 1832 discovered an animal in a cave in Pennsylvania. He named it Odocoleus virginius, which is a hollow tooth animal. You ever seen a deer skull? You ever seen a deer tooth? What do their teeth look like? Hollow.
A deer tooth?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. But he thought it was a goat or an ox. So the scientific name for the white-tailed deer is that word, Odocoleus virginius, and it means the hollow-toothed deer of Virginia. That they thought was a goat, but it has three subspecies: the mule deer, the whitetail, and the Yucatan brown borket. So those are the three subspecies of that genus. The whitetail is the only one that remains the only subgenus of that genus. And that is the random fact of the week, that the white-tailed deer was actually named after something they thought was an old goat. Wow! Yeah.
And it was out of a Pennsylvania cave, and
Yep.
Lord only knows what else was happening.
But then exactly. Then they found out it was actually from Virginia. So it's the hollow-toothed deer of Virginia.
I'm sorry.
Weird.
That is the
Virginia.
scientific name for whitetail.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That was a great fact.
There's the random fact of the week.
So
So
what-
go ahead.
No, you please.
I have two final questions, but if you have,
Go ahead.
mine are just questions. If you have content flow, communication flow.
Well, I was going to ask what they had planned for. I know you had mentioned that you had like 8 hunts you were trying to do this year. Do you? I know you guys said you were still planning. Do you have any that are like, because you're doing stuff with like a television network? Do you have any that you like have to do?
Nope.
No?
There's nothing
Okay.
we have to provide 13 episodes,
Okay.
and they don't have to be 13 confirmed kills. It can be just 13 episodes of really good content.
Okay.
So no have tos.
Because the whole
If you guys promise not to hate me, I'm more of a fisherman than a hunter.
that's okay.
And
I'm more of a
Mountaintop
fisherman.
Outdoors symbol has a fish in it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be negotiating with this guy to go to Colorado or Montana
Yeah.
to do some fly fishing on film.
Yeah.
And see if we can
Awesome.
play around with potentially incorporating that.
Yeah, yeah.
You should
Yeah.
definitely do that because I know that when I'm watching hunting shows, a lot of times I'm just like, all right, it's enough. And a fly fishing break would be actually pretty cool.
Yeah, the short film, the fly fishing. That was there's another film on there, right? That was yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
That was me in our local town.
yeah. Yeah, I thought that was. I couldn't remember which one of you was. If that was one of you two, but yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I've only took a fly fishing lesson. I've never actually been fly fishing.
Yeah, my wife knows how to fly fish. I don't. I'm regular. Gus and I are like sit on a boat and drink, throw a bobber out and see if it moves.
That's me.
That's all me.
Nothing wrong with that either.
My style.
Yeah.
I suck at fishing.
Yeah.
I'm just impatient.
You said what?
I'm just impatient when it comes to fishing. I think I get frustrated.
And because of the poor technique,
It could be that.
Yeah, I've been told you got to leave it out there a little longer.
Yeah, I guess. We went down to Texas and we were at a pond that just had massive bass. And I probably cast it, I don't know, 30 times, probably more, nothing. And he's just, every time he's casting, he's pulling out 2, 3, 4 pounders, just hammering them.
He knows the secret.
I went to I went fishing I went on a work trip to Virginia one year at Fort Belvoir. And they have a pond, a lake you can go, like this recreation area. And they had this dock. And I brought a travel fishing pole. And there's these gentlemen that had been out there fishing, you could tell, for some time because they had their coolers and their chairs set up. And I walked out there and with this little beetle spin, a little white colored worm. I cast it out, reel it in. I got like a nice little 1.5 pound bass. And I looked up and they're all looking at me like, this motherfucker just walked out here, cast one time, caught a bass. And it was so funny to me, the reaction. I just let it go, packed my rod up and left.
Yeah,
I caught one fish and left on one cast. And they had been out there, it looked like all day.
I do this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm done now.
It was worth the memory, but I do regret not sitting and fishing longer.
Yeah, now it's over. I've already done what I've come here to do, and it's time to go home. What was that one?
What was that?
Black.
Is it a willet?
Blackened.
Is it a willet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it's almost a gimmick whiskey.
Yeah, it's the
Blackman.
AC/DC. They
Metallica.
Metallica. Yeah, they blast the barrels with music, and that makes it better.
That's right.
Yep.
Does it taste metallic?
I'm not a huge
All the-
fan of willet, so I've wondered how this one is.
All the reviews are really good. So figured why not?
Well,
Worst case
I would
is
like to know.
Dutch.
Walk me through a tasting. I would like to know.
So this is finished in Madeira.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Madeira casks.
How's the nose?
Sweet. Very sweet.
Can you smell the Madeira?
Can I smell it?
Can you smell the Madeira?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. It's coming through with a little bit of citrus, a little bit of honey, a little bit of blackberry.
Does it taste better than pot still?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's a tricky question because you're people are in one camp or the other, man. I feel like people either love it or they hate it.
Kyle Yelton loves pot still.
Really?
Loves it. It's his favorite thing.
He can have it all.
That's what I told him.
Every drop.
So Kyle's a good dude. We've become pretty good buddies with him.
Yep. He called
Yeah.
me when he was walking through the woods, left me a voicemail, and was like, "You hear this steam engine?" He's like, "I'm fat." So I called him back. I was like, "Dude, I'm pretty sure you're in better shape than I am." And yeah, I guess he decided to walk like 30 acres in the snow.
Yeah. Yeah, he called me the same thing. We talked for a little while. I'm like, dude, you're breathing pretty hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going. I don't know if you're gonna go or not, but
Yes.
we went pheasant hunting with him last week in March.
Yeah, he actually told me about that. That for his bachelor party or something.
Yeah, so it'll be a good time.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
This is almost too sweet for the first time ever.
It tastes like it almost tastes like a
cognac.
like almost like a tea. Like you're drinking a. It's different. It's
Small amounts. It's good taste. Just a little bit too sweet for me.
it has a coffee tea aftertaste to it
It does.
that doesn't taste natural in a bourbon.
Good, because this is rye.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
It tastes herbal like a rye. You say?
He said it doesn't taste natural.
No, I
in
heard
the
him.
bourbon.
No, I know.
And
I was
said,
trying to
"That's
save
good
him.
because this is a rye.
I was trying to save him.
coffee taste to it. A coffee herbal tea.
Yeah, it does. It has like a floral tea note to the end.
And to have a glass every now and then wouldn't be bad. It's not bad.
It's not something I need to go look for then.
Too much money for what it tastes like.
Yeah,
And
that's what
I bought a bottle too. So
Did you?
Yeah.
Do they have a secondary does yours? Do you have? You don't have state stores, so yeah, obviously. Yeah, that's
the
what.
majority of the stuff gets marked up.
Oh god.
There's only a couple stores that pride themselves on statement everything,
Really?
Thanks.
and they do a lot of business.
I bet they do.
Yep, your best bet is honestly, this may sound weird, but Kroger and a Meijer. Stores like that, family, like a local, like Bush markets or holiday market.
But Lenny from Maria's,
Yep.
he's probably the best store owner I've met in Michigan. Everything is statement. He's not condescending. He's willing to talk to you. He's just a really, really cool dude.
Yeah.
He knows him a lot better than me.
He'll actually show you his receipts of what he got in. I mean, he puts everything out there. He's probably the most genuine store owner we've ever dealt with.
Does he drink?
Oh yeah, and he runs a pretty cool whiskey club where he actually, Michigan got screwed this year by BTEC specifically.
Everybody got screwed on BTEC.
Yeah,
Nobody knows
Michigan.
where it went, but nobody got any.
Yeah, I know. And he actually put some of his own bottles from his own collection in the club just to make sure his paying customers got cool bottles. Just a good dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sounds like we need more store owners like that. Every other store owner down here doesn't drink.
Yeah, the drone don't. They don't know anything about it, and then they don't. You have to ask to get this stuff. It doesn't just show up. So none of them ever ask for it because they don't know to, and it just sits there.
Yeah, they all know because they know what they can mark it up for.
Yep.
Yeah,
So they know really well.
I walked into the store. Are you guys familiar at all with Michigan?
I know this thing.
I flew in. I've flown. I've had I've had layovers in Detroit, and I tried to look at Michigan from the shore of Minnesota up by the wilderness area, but that's about as
I deployed
close.
to Afghanistan with a guy that thought he was as badass like Eminem and said he was from Detroit and all this shit or stuff, and then come to find out he's from Ann Arbor. That's all. But I know that.
Which is like one of the most liberal towns in the whole state.
Yeah. So
Mild mannered. The worst thing that happens there is people smoke a lot of dope.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So now you know that my extent of Michigan. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So there's a few party stores you can walk in that you'll find any bottle you want at full secondary. So if you want a Pappy 23, no problem. $5,500.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
they have that here too.
And it's like, come on.
Yeah.
I really like the bottle. My number one bottle on my list, and I just told Kyle this yesterday, is I want Stag Junior 2021. It's the only bottle I really care about. And I found a bottle, $350. I'm like, come on, man. I'll overpay. I get there's a need for secondary, but I'm not paying $350.
Yeah, not for Stag Junior.
No, and I will. I'll overpay. That's a lot of money.
Okay, so I got a little story for you, real quick. He invites me over for a blind. We're gonna do some high strength bourbon, barrel strength bourbon blind test. I picked out 4. I got my wife setting them up. I'm not even gonna know. We're gonna go down there. We're gonna go through these 1 through 4. When we come down here, and we knew what they were, and one of them was Stag Junior. And we're going through and we're tasting, and he's like, "This is the Stag Junior. I swear." We had drank enough of it. We thought we knew it. And when we got done ranking them, we found out that we placed the EC barrel proof, the Ledger Craig barrel proof, number 1, and the Stag Junior was number 4.
Which barrel
And
proof
this
was
poor
it?
bastard had like 12 bottles on his shelf. That was the pride of
Oh,
his
no.
collection. Now just came in last in a blind.
Last place.
He was
That hard on
crying
him.
for 2 weeks, man. Every time I came over, I can't believe that this stag came in last.
Dude,
Which
blind.
barrel proof was it?
B520.
Okay. We did the barrel of the battle proofs, and we did B518 all the way through A121
21.
and B518. Dude, the camera died halfway through, and it's unfortunate for all of you
Yeah.
because
We did all the Elijah Craigs
and all the larcenies.
and the larcenies in one video.
I got a 517.
Do you?
I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot left, but I got a 517.
The 518 was money. It was definitely the best of all.
I can't remember
that
which
we
ones I
tried.
picked, but the A121, the
A121 was
5810, those stood out for sure.
Yeah, the Stag has always drank. Stag Junior has always drank hot to me. It hasn't been one of my favorite bottles.
The Elijah Craig 920 for me it met all the hype.
I think that's
I
the
thought it
one.
was the best.
That might be the one that we killed first. Like we were like,
Okay.
this is good enough to drink, and we can get another one, but we never got another
Is
one.
it right there?
Like we have a Stag up here, and then
Right behind the Kings County.
There you go.
this is a 121.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, so the
It's in
920,
there
I
somewhere.
actually went and visited a buddy out in Boston. And I said, talk to your buddies and like, what's a good bourbon store? And I walked in and mixed in the rest of theirs. They had two 920s. This was middle of last year. So it was already way past. Two of them. I sent him a picture. I'm like, you want one? He's like, yeah, I want one. So I had to mail it home. But yeah, I had to find it in Boston. That's the only place we could find it. It wasn't available here at all. It went fast and you couldn't get your hands on it.
Do you guys have those super cheap flights out of there? Like we have here. We have like $39 flights to Kentucky and $70 flights to the Midwest.
The only time that ever pops up is Chicago. And if we talk pre-COVID, sometimes like Tampa would pop up for like 129 or something. But you got to go when they want you to go, not on your terms.
We have them. Well, one of them is whenever you want. The other one's Friday through Monday. So you have to leave Friday and come back Monday. But it's for real like $39.
Yeah, it started
I
after
think what
they renovated our
Our
added some terminals, and they got some airlines in there that just do like flights between here and a couple of other cities, and it's to drive tourism here, I think, is what it is. But
we were considering that
easy to take
we could fly from here because one's to Louisville, so we could fly to Louisville, bourbon hunt for a day, and then fly back that night for
That would be sweet.
$100. Yeah, like
That
if they're
would be
doing a
sweet.
release or something.
Yeah.
It's been a thought. We got that problem, but we don't have that kind of dedication to go hunt
We've been
whitetail.
threatening to go down to Indiana to hit MGP just because why not? There's a number of places around there that bottle that you could pick up some good stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
We could do a day trip. But
Yeah,
I haven't made it a reality yet.
that's a good day trip.
you should do it. Whenever we go buy barrels, we always stop at a bunch of places on the way that takes 12 hours to get there and back because we can't help but stop and check liquor stores.
It's a 4-hour drive. Takes us 12 hours.
Yeah, but all right, I think that's about it, man. Is it y'all are Central?
Eastern.
Are you still Eastern? Way over
Yep.
there? Who would have known? I need to learn my time zones.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a 45-minute drive home and work early, and I got to eat dinner at some point. So I think I'm gonna cash out here.
Dinner's important.
Good
Yeah.
conversation, fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Thanks for hopping on. We
We're
appreciate
gonna
it.
Send you blinds of this next.
Perfect. I've actually never had it.
That's bad.
Is it?
I actually pulled it out to have another one just to see. 'Cause
See if it's that
It's
bad.
been a while since I've had one, but I'll do it off camera.
No, I'll do, yeah, I'm gonna pour it. I'm gonna taste it too.
All right.
Yeah, it's been good talking to you guys.
Yep. We
All right,
will.
fellas.
We'll talk to you soon, and we'll maybe do this again before the season starts. We'll see what everybody's up to right before season starts, and then maybe
Yeah,
check.
it'd be cool.
Yeah, then check in again at the end of season, see how everybody did.
Yeah, it'd be kick ass.
And where do we pick up this information about this vision? I mean, the night vision place, your company you're talking about?
It's called AGM Global Vision, but you can just text me and I'll send you their Instagram. It's wild.
Yeah, I just want to check it out just out of curiosity.
I don't know if they'll have pictures of it on there yet, but you know,
That's cool.
I'm sure I can send you. I got you.
Okay.
All right, fellas. Cheers. Have a good night.
Hey,
Cheers,
y'all
man.
too. Thank
Take care,
you all.
boys.
Have a good day.